So, I'm sure a lot of you have flown and traveled all over the world. For me, my experiences on the airlines, I went to Indonesia once. It was like a 16-hour flight. And the worst experience I had was during that time was when they got lost and then they had to circle around. You know, you look at this map on your seat screen, yeah, the screen on your seat. And so what I want you to do is just talk among yourselves and tell your partner maybe some experiences, some really exciting experiences, or real maybe some bad experiences that you'd like to share, because I want to hear it too. Okay, so you two speak together, and you three speak together. I'll let you do this for about a few minutes.
Ladies first. I was lost in the airport, big airport. Now it's 30 more seconds.
We traveled. It was one month. English camp.
Okay, thank you for sharing your nice observations. Thank you. Now, I'm excited to hear it. Does anyone have some stories they want to share? Fun?
Oh, my story is, I have a couple of stories.
Okay. Okay. Perhaps just a real brief summary of what happened.
Well, that's mostly a year and a half ago. I traveled to Texas and Kakao, and then my connected flight from Atlanta to Miami to Texas. But when we were supposed to land in Miami, President happened that so instead of landing, the airplane kept circling around.
Let's get circling
and we
around.
didn't know how long it's going to take an hour. So afraid that we would miss the connected flight. But yeah.
And did you make it?
Yeah, I made it. It wasn't that bad. It was only like 20 minutes, but it's not lasted like forever.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to be doing a listening lesson about, well, I won't tell you, but it is related to flights. So we're going to. So here's some vocabulary words that I would like you to match with the definitions. And we'll do that for about 5 minutes by yourselves. Okay? So please read over it. And let me know if you understand some of the words. I'll give you about 20 seconds. Okay. Seems like everybody. This is going to be a 2.5 minute audio piece. So what I want you to do is answer those questions while you read. Okay? Everyone good? Good? Go. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Resume with the vocabulary. Do the audio. Please check your answers with your partner. Okay, let's go over the answers, everyone. So, okay, Mehdi,
Yeah.
what do we have for number one?
Number one, flock of birds.
Flock of birds.
A group of birds that live, travel, or feed together. Feed.
Yep. When we say flock of ducks,
Yeah.
well, not the same thing. They live different. No. Ducks have like they have significant differences, but we'll get to that. We'll get back to that.
Flock of ducks.
So, yep, that's a flock of birds. Does anyone know what flock means?
Group.
We have group. Anyone else have something else?
Flying.
Flying? Okay. They have group. They have flying. Anyone else have any other observations? Okay. Flock is where they do fly together, eat together, and they do everything together.
Okay.
Flock of birds.
So is it group?
It is.
You can say group or flock?
It means the same thing, but flock means much more than just a
They
group.
do everything together.
They do everything together.
It's like
Yeah, they're like a community.
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of part of speech is this? Layla.
What?
Right here.
Birds. No.
No. Good. All right. Now, everyone out here, say flock of birds.
Flock of birds.
Flock of birds.
Flock of birds.
Oh. Say it with me. Everyone say oh.
Oh.
Va. Oh.
Oh.
It's flock. Oh.
Flock
Flock of birds.
Flock of birds.
Flock of birds.
Excellent. All right. So what do we have for number 2?
That's why I'm here. I wasn't making
You did well.
That's true.
I wouldn't ask for any better. All right. What do we have for number 2?
Instinct.
Okay. Instinct. Okay. Let's have Pedro. What is the definition for instinct for number 2?
Animals will survive for their instinct to feed their young.
Yes. So, instinct.
Instinct.
So animals who survive. I want to hear. Lise, can you read this one, please? Yes, ma'am.
Animals survive for their instinct to feed their young.
Okay. So, for instinct. So when birds, okay, so instinct is something they follow, like it's their gut feeling. You know, they didn't learn this. This is an innate ability that they kind of got born into. They were born into it. Yeah. So these birds, why do they always come together to fly off? By instinct. Yeah. When it's about to get cold, they somehow know. They don't have the Weather Channel, so they have the instinct to fly south. Right? Okay. So instinct. What is part of speech of this?
Now.
Layla.
Now?
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Thank you. So let me hear you say instinct.
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 Their instinct to feed.
Instinct. Instinct. Instinct.
Everyone together. Their instinct to feed.
Their instinct to feed.
Very good. So, let's go through number 3. I have Carlos. Can you tell me what number 3 the word is and the definition, please?
Land, to come down through the air, and alight on the ground.
Certainly is. Let's put this right there. All right. Petra, can you read this to me, please?
The plane will land in 15 minutes.
So you notice, what are other ways that we use land? What does land mean, Van?
In the sentence?
Other way. Oh, yes, in the sentence, in the context. Yes.
Ground.
Ground. Okay, so we have idea of ground. What other way? Does anyone else have something different? Arrive. Okay.
You can use land, like, for example, when we have territory, yes.
Territory?
Yes.
Yep.
Personal
So this
place.
plane, so when you're on the plane and you're about to land, they will say this plane is about to land in 15 minutes. Please put on your seatbelt and fold up your chairs, or fold up your tables, right?
Yeah.
So in that context,
Where is that?
it is when it's landing to the ground. It's a landing.
It's going down.
It's going down. When you throw a frisbee, it's going to land somewhere. That's what it means. That's how we use it. So if I were to ask you, okay, this,
Is it true to say that we have a territory or something?
it is, yes,
It's
that is
my
accurate.
name.
Let's speak like that. You hope someone who has
Not when you say this, not when you're talking
No,
about.
not in this context.
Oh, right.
Not in
Yeah,
this
you're totally right. Totally right. Yeah. I thought I'd bring this up to your vocabulary because of the listening lesson. Because they're going to say landing in this context.
Okay.
So I thought that you should know this. So when you listen, you'll know what they're talking about. So like, if I were to say I'm going to land the plane, am I using the word land as an action or a thing? Please.
Could you repeat?
If I say that I'm going to land this plane, okay? Am I using this word land as a action or a thing?
In this, or
In my example, I'm going to land this plane.
action.
It is. Okay, so let's have Vaughn. Can you read number 4 and the definition, please? What's the vocabulary word for number 4?
Involving or causing certain great damage or suffering, extremely unfortunate or unsuccessful.
What is the word?
The word is catastrophic.
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 So, Carlos, can you tell me what part of speech this is? Catastrophic.
Scientific?
It is. What is this adjective supporting? Or what is,
Accident?
what's another word for another word for accident?
Disaster.
Yes, sir. Okay. So let's have Mehdi. Go ahead and read this out for us, please.
Not good.
Right here.
Sorry.
Not a problem.
I will lead to a catastrophic disaster. It would.
It would.
Nah,
You
sorry.
would.
It would lead to a catastrophic disaster if a plane stopped working in mid-air. Well,
So, if the plane stopped in mid-air, what would that result to?
the plane?
A disaster, right? Catastrophe and disaster means somewhat the same thing. Okay. Now, let's break this word apart. Where is the stress? Let's see who. Let me see here. Pedro, can you tell me where the stress is? The largest.
The third one?
Catastrophic.
It's the second.
Okay.
Second syllable.
She was right. Carlos, where's the stress of land?
Just one. Just this one.
Yeah, it's just this land. What about Vaughn? Where's the stress on this word?
The first one.
The first syllable?
Yeah. Instinct.
Good. Okay. And the last one. You know what? Everyone say catastrophic. Kata. Strophic. Catastrophic.
Catastrophic.
Kata.
Kakao.
Yep. Catastrophic.
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 Everyone say this. Catastrophic.
Catastrophic.
Bring out the O more. Ah. Stroph.
Stroph.
You by yourself?
Stroph.
Stroph. Drop your jaw.
Stroph.
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 Nice. Excellent. That sounds awesome. Now say that catastrophe.
Catastrophe.
Kata. Good. Catastrophe.
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 And then you just add it. Ick to it. Everyone together. Catastrophic.
Catastrophic.
Nice. Music to my ears. Okay. Let's see here. Who hasn't read yet?
Me.
Anna.
Anna. Go ahead, read number 5 for us, please. Any answer?
Evacuate. It's to remove someone from a place of danger to a safe place.
Here's a, in this sentence, let's have, Vaughn, can you read this to us, please?
Our leader told us to evacuate when the aircraft was no longer safe to be in.
Told us to evacuate. What do you think that means? I mean, other than the definition, without looking at it, who can remember?
Yeah, but
What about Layla? Can you tell me where the what part of speech this is?
It's a verb.
It is. Okay. Evacuate.
evacuate. Evacuate.
Evacuate. Evacuate.
Okay, good. So evacuate also means to, you're leaving. Everyone knows, okay, from what I've heard, some people. Betty, would you say that you evacuated your house to go shopping?
No.
Would you use that word to say you went shopping?
No.
I evacuated my house to go shopping.
If you are
I'm glad it went.
crazy about shopping.
Okay, so right here, okay, this is what we're going to do next. We're going to do our listening part right here. I want you to read through this and let me know if you have any questions. We'll spend a couple seconds reading. So if you can pass this. Okay, it looks like everyone got it. Okay, so as you see here in this picture, we have this man whose name is Captain Chesley B. Sullenberger III. So, well, everyone calls him Solon. Solon for short. No, for real.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
His name was Solon?
Well,
Solon.
that's what his friends call him anyway.
Solon.
Solon.
Sullenberger.
Yep. So we're going to listen to a news report about this guy and what he did. Okay. So you got to look at. So I want you to answer these questions as you read. Everyone okay? Everyone understand the questions being asked? Okay.
Track 44. The pilot who saved 155 lives by landing his stricken aircraft on the Hudson River in New York has described the moment his windscreen was filled with big brown birds. Captain Chesley B. Sullenberger III said U.S. Airways Flight 1549 flew into a flock of birds at 1,000 meters moments after taking off from LaGuardia Airport. Moments later, he was forced to tell air traffic controllers, "We're gonna be in the Hudson." The veteran pilot told crash investigators from the National Transportation Safety Board that he heard a thump, followed by a smell of burning birds, and then silence, as both the Airbus A320's engines cut out. His first instinct as the birds struck was to duck, and then he cried out, "My aircraft," when he realized what had happened. Mr. Sullenberger, 57, a former fighter pilot, said he then made a split-second decision to bring the aircraft down in the Hudson River because he knew it was too low and too slow to reach a safe landing spot without hitting nearby buildings, which would have caused a catastrophic crash. Flight controllers asked him if he could make it back to LaGuardia or nearby Teterboro Airport, but he replied, "We can't do it. We're going to be in the Hudson." That was his last communication with the ground. At the moment of impact, First Officer Jeff Skiles was flying the plane, and he described catching sight of a large number of dark brown birds approaching in perfect formation. After they hit, Mr. Sullenberger immediately took over the controls. Two of the plane's flight attendants told investigators there was an eerie quiet in the cabin after the engines stopped, and it was like being in a library as smoke and the smell of burning filled the plane. But Mr. Sullenberger set the aircraft down so smoothly on the water that the flight attendants compared it to an ordinary hard landing on a runway. The pilot, known to colleagues as Sully, then issued a one-word command to evacuate and stayed on board himself until everyone else was safe. All 150 passengers and 5 crew survived after being picked up by nearby boats. Track 40.
Okay. What kind of answers do we have? Let's see here. Let's start with.
How many people?
Okay, Vaughn. Can you read number 1 to us? Tell
How
us.
many people did he save? My answer is 160. 155 passengers and 5 schools.
Okay. Anyone else have something else?
150.
Okay. We have one there. Okay. Anyone else had only 155?
The 155 plus 5.
It would be
160.
I think it was 155.
is 155.
It was 155.
Good listening, everyone. Good listening. Good. Okay. And
55 and plus
155. Yep. 150.
plus 5 passengers.
Right. Good eye here. All right. Layla, if you can read number 2 and the answer.
What was the name of the airlines and flight number? I had only the flight number. It's 1549.
Good ear.
That
Does anyone remember the flight? The name?
US Airways.
US Airways.
US Airways.
All right, Hannah. What is the answer to number 3?
How high was the pilot flying when you took off from LaGuardia Airport in New York? I have 1,000 meters.
Anyone else have different answers? Pedro? Fun? Please? Good. That's it. These are right so far. So I do want to let you know that. US Airways 1549. 155. Okay. All right, Lise. Number 4, please.
What river is the pilot out to land in? The Hudson River?
Hudson River. Talk about that in a minute. Number 5, Carlos.
How old was the pilot?
How old?
57.
57.
15 years old.
Sounds like we have a mutual agreement there. Good. All right. And then Pedro. Number 6, please.
You want to hear about birds?
The birds.
Birds, yeah.
Yeah.
Duck.
Did anyone get any descriptions about the birds?
Duck.
Duck.
Description of the bird. An adjective, please. Brown? Okay, we got brown. What about the size? Was he? Were the birds this big? Or were they small? Did anyone get? Yeah, big. Nice. All right, good. So, anyone ever been to New York? New York, north of here, north of Georgia.
New York.
Where's the Hudson River? Here we are right now. We're right here. Hudson River, right up there.
Wow. Wow. You guess it.
Yeah.
Hudson River.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to listen to it again. We're going to listen to it again, but this time we're going to listen for more information, much more thorough, deeper understanding of what is going on in this news report. Okay? So you may want to take a minute to take a look at this. Be pretty thorough. Oh, sorry. That comes later. Windshield. You know when you're driving your car,
Yeah.
you have that piece of glass between you and the road. Windshield. There's a couple words I do want to clarify, just to make sure that when you listen to this, I want you to pay attention to particular information, and you'll need to know these words here. Okay. Number 3. When you look at number 3, impact. Okay. Yeah, crash, a sudden impact, a forcible strike. A forcible strike. Forcible strike. And if you can please look at number 5. the word aftermath. Can someone tell me what aftermath means?
Aftermath.
Well, no, I mean not after class. They do-
Aftermath.
not after a math class, but an aftermath. Oh, well, it's right there, with number 5. Aftermath. See that aftermath? Aftermath. The consequence or after effect of a significant unpleasant event. Okay. So as you what's that? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. It's an after effect of an event. Okay. Let's say something happened. Okay. And it was
Catastrophic.
nice. Okay. What happened? So after it calms down, the disaster calms down, then you have the result of the catastrophic disaster. That's the aftermath. After that. Afterwards, the aftermath. After all the numbers have been done.
Aftermath.
The catastrophe did a number on that.
I have a question.
Yes.
Attendance.
Attendants.
Attendance.
The attendants are those flight attendants who say, "Would you like peanuts or a hot towel?"
Ah, okay.
Those fellas.
Okay.
Your best friends on the airline. They get you everything you need:
Ah,
pillow,
okay.
blanket.
Ah,
Okay, we're gonna listen to it again. Okay. You'll be writing a lot more than these words, so just look forward to that.
Track 44. The pilot who saved 155 lives by landing his stricken aircraft on the Hudson River in New York has described the moment his windscreen was filled with big brown birds. Captain Chesley B. Sullenberg III said U.S. Airways Flight 1549 flew into a flock of birds at 1,000 meters moments after taking off from LaGuardia Airport. Moments later, he was forced to tell air traffic controllers, "We're gonna be in the Hudson." The veteran pilot told crash investigators from the National Transportation Safety Board that he heard a thump, followed by a smell of burning birds, and then silence, as both the Airbus A320's engines cut out. His first instinct as the birds struck was to duck, and then he cried out, "My aircraft," when he realized what had happened. Mr. Sullenberger, 57, a former fighter pilot, said he then made a split-second decision to bring the aircraft down in the Hudson River because he knew it was too low and too slow to reach a safe landing spot without hitting nearby buildings, which would have caused a catastrophic crash. Flight controllers asked him if he could make it back to LaGuardia or nearby Teterboro Airport, but he replied, "We can't do it. We're gonna be in the Hudson." That was his last communication with the ground. At the moment of impact, First Officer Jeff Skiles was flying the plane, and he described catching sight of a large number of dark brown birds approaching in perfect formation. After they hit, Mr. Sullenberger immediately took over the controls. Two of the plane's flight attendants told investigators there was an eerie quiet in the cabin after the engines stopped, and it was like being in a library as smoke and the smell of burning filled the plane. But Mr. Sullenberger set the aircraft down so smoothly on the water that the flight attendants compared it to an ordinary hard landing on a runway. The pilot, known to colleagues as Sully, then issued a one-word command to evacuate and stayed on board himself until everyone else was safe. All 150 passengers and 5 crew survived after being picked up by nearby boats. Track 43.
Everyone okay? Awesome.
So.
Okay. So how did you feel about that story? Did you?
Yeah.
Were you able to?
Yes, the first no.
Okay.
There is so more difficult.
Did everyone seem to? Okay. Do you? Okay. Well, we can listen to it again if you want.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Track 44. The pilot who saved 155 lives by landing his stricken aircraft on the Hudson River in New York has described the moment his windscreen was filled with big brown birds. Captain Chesley B. Sullenberger III said U.S. Airways Flight 1549 flew into a flock of birds at 1,000 meters moments after taking off from LaGuardia Airport. Moments later, he was forced to tell air traffic controllers, "We're gonna be in the Hudson." The veteran pilot told crash investigators from the National Transportation Safety Board that he heard a thump, followed by a smell of burning birds, and then silence, as both the Airbus A320's engines cut out. His first instinct as the birds struck was to duck, and then he cried out, "My aircraft," when he realized what had happened. Mr. Sullenberger, 57, a former fighter pilot, said he then made a split-second decision to bring the aircraft down in the Hudson River because he knew it was too low and too slow to reach a safe landing spot without hitting nearby buildings, which would have caused a catastrophic crash. Flight controllers asked him if he could make it back to LaGuardia or nearby Teterboro Airport, but he replied, "We can't do it. We're gonna be in the Hudson." That was his last communication with the ground. At the moment of impact, First Officer Jeff Skiles was flying the plane, and he described catching sight of a large number of dark brown birds approaching in perfect formation. After they hit, Mr. Sullenberger immediately took over the controls. Two of the plane's flight attendants told investigators there was an eerie quiet in the cabin after the engines stopped, and it was like being in a library as smoke and the smell of burning filled the plane. But Mr. Sullenberger set the aircraft down so smoothly on the water that the flight attendants compared it to an ordinary hard landing on a runway. The pilot, known to colleagues as Sully, then issued a one-word command to evacuate and stayed on board himself until everyone else was safe. All 150 passengers and 5 crew survived after being picked up by nearby boats.
Nidhi, what's the answer to? Can you read the answer to number 1, please?
Answer to number 1.
What? Did you get anything?
No.
Did someone get?
Because of the birds?
Because of the bird.
Because of the birds?
The big brown bird.
Yeah.
Big brown
Bird.
birds. His windshield was filled with big brown birds. Did anyone get something for number 2? Layla?
When did the pilot tell the crash investigation? They tell them we're going to be at the head soon. I'm not sure about the head. Hudson.
Oh.
Hudson River.
Okay. What's the pilot told the crash investigators? Did anyone else get something different? Pedro? Did you get number 2? Nothing? Okay. Well, the answer is this. He heard a thump, followed by a smell of burning birds. And then a silence as both of the engines just shut down. Roughly speaking. That's what happened.
So it's not
No.
what he said.
Oh. He heard a thump, which is just a thump. That's what it sounds like. Okay. The sound of thump. That's just pretty much close representation. I can get with the thump. Okay, number 3. Carlos, what do we have? Did you get something for number 3?
No,
Elise?
First reaction was too slow.
To what?
Slow.
To slow down? It was because it was the plane was too low and too slow to find an airport.
That's the number 4?
Oh no. I was just talking about why they said it was too low, too slow. But the answer is that. Oh, did anyone get anything else?
No.
Please share if you do.
Yes, please. The second is
We do the triangle control.
Yeah.
The captain's first reaction to the impact.
We don't be interrupted.
He did say that. He did say that.
I said something like,
We can't
my
do it.
brain.
My aircraft.
His first instinct was to duck. Yeah, when he heard all that noise and the plane was rocking around, he just got down. This guy, he was in the military, so you can see why he just got down. But that's what he did. That was his first instinct.
What?
Danger. I'm ducking. Ducking. Yeah, getting down on the ground. Yeah, duck. Yeah, just like that. Hands together like that, fist, ready. Protect your head, protect your face. Okay. Yeah, that's his first instinct, to duck, to get down underneath the table, something else. Number 4, can someone tell me what, number 4, anyone? Please share.
Why did the captain decide to land? Because they were too low and too slow to reach a safe landing.
Exactly. I wish I could write that out, but it's a little long. It was too low and too slow.
Too low and too slow.
To reach a safe landing.
To reach a safe landing without hitting nearby buildings.
Yeah, we're not hearing.
What kind of disaster would happen if he was to crash into some buildings?
Catastrophic. Crash.
Catastrophic.
Catastrophic.
Stress right there and help you out.
Catastrophic.
Catastrophic. Catastrophic.
Don't sound good. Number 5. Let's have Mehdi. Wait, have you read already?
Yeah.
All right, Pedra.
How did the 2 flight attendants? How did the 2 flight attendants? The aftermath.
How did the flight attendants what? The aftermath?
How did the 2 flight attendants? That's weird.
Describe. How did they describe? Okay. What was the answer to that?
Is that is that correct? Is that question correct? Yeah. I feel like it is.
Yeah, because how did the 2 flight attendants describe the aftermath? The aftermath is an event after a disaster.
But does it say describe?
Yeah, the burning bird, no smells. Yeah.
This is the verb in that
No,
sentence.
the 2.
Oh.
That's right.
Sorry about that. I see
Yeah,
why.
but I don't know.
I'll give you credit. But okay. Okay, off the top of your head, can anyone remember how the 2 flight attendants described the aftermath?
So, smoke burns.
Yes, that's close.
Library or something.
Very close.
Like
Yes, you're on the right track. She's on the right track. Did you hear that?
Library.
Okay, number 5. There was an eerie quiet in the cabin after the engine stopped. And it was like a library.
Library. What is library?
Oh, big shelf, bunch of
Really?
books.
Oh, library.
Yeah, but imagine a library of
I
smoke.
was saying to myself it has no relation with
Yeah, that's how the flight attendants described the aftermath. It was just smoke just everywhere around.
You were right. It doesn't make sense.
Number 6. Let's have Vaughn read it, please.
What did the captain do after he landed the plane on the Hudson River to evacuate the
He went
To evacuate the airplane. That is
waited
absolutely
till-
right.
Yeah.
He stayed
All the
on
passenger.
board by himself until
Please, what-
everybody got in.
Exactly. Lise, what did you write?
Evacuate passengers.
Right, perfect. Good job. Carlos, same?
Yeah.
Pedro?
I'm COVID.
Awesome.
COVID brown.
Okay, good.
And we're gonna evacuate the classroom.
Evacuate the classroom.
Okay. So we're going to try to do, let's see here. We're going to do a little role playing real quick, okay? We're going to do a little bit of role playing. So, see, after this incident happened, okay? You know, the pilot saved 155 people, right? Saved 105 people. He was all over the news. He was in movies afterwards. You know, based on the story. He was a hero.
Yeah.
You know, so just imagine that moment when the news came and you wanted to talk to the pilot who saved everyone, and maybe all the passengers, all 155 passengers that survived. Okay, so some of you are going to be those flight attendants who saw the library of smoke. Some of you are going to be the passengers. Okay, I want you to tell the person next to you. I mean, tell the reporter. I'll tell you who the reporter is in a minute. You're going to talk about your experience. If you imagine yourself in that plane when it crashed, how did you feel? Okay, so I want you to take about 5 minutes to write something together.
How did I feel? I'm gonna die.
You know what? How about this? Okay.
I'm gonna die.
Okay. That's okay because Ahmed here is the hero.
It's
Okay?
Yeah, okay.
He was the pilot. He is. You know,
Okay.
who we call Sully. Okay? So we need an interviewer. Who's gonna? How about Pedro? Are you a good interviewer? Okay.
I don't think so.
This will be your microphone, and you just think about some questions that you might want to ask the hero. Oh, like, what was it? You know, what was going through your head while you were steering that plane? Because the plane landed real softly into the water. You know, it landed softly. No one got hurt. Okay, so you're the hero, the Mr. Sully. You are going to be his reporter. You're going to report. Okay, and we need a cameraman. Who wants to be a cameraman? You're
I can't
recording.
be the cameraman.
Cameraman is just like
No, we need a hero. Hey, you know what? He's going to be the other hero because there's the co-pilot.
pilot.
Yeah, there's a co-pilot. You're gonna be Mr. Co-pilot, okay? And someone needs to interview him
I
too.
wanna sit down.
Okay, please.
Co-pilot.
I want you to write something that you probably ask. Okay. And then you three, you be the passengers. Okay.
Who's gonna be the interviewer?
Yep. She'll be the interviewer. She's gonna interview you.
What am I supposed to say?
You're gonna talk about how brave you were. Talk about when the engines blew up or something like that. I was just like, I got this. You know, something like that.
I talked about my wife,
I know
how
that
much
I can
I
handle
love her.
this. It's easy.
Yes,
Do it
exactly.
every day.
That'll work. Okay. So yeah, and you're gonna interview him. And I want
Mrs.
you to be a
Jones?
camera person. Pretend you're
Oh,
holding a
the
camera.
camera person doesn't have to talk.
That's okay. We're gonna be super role play. We're gonna stand up and do it.
Chesley. Mr. Chesley. Brother. Three.
You're right.
Yeah, I just okay, I have to land on this point. I didn't mind drowning. I just yes, I just
This is a question.
No.
I need to know. I need to prepare my answers.
Shut down. Can you? Motors on?
Yeah.
Shut down?
We have about 2 more minutes. And then we're
I have one question.
That's okay. This is just for fun.
You can ask my papa.
I was crying, you know, he was crying all the time. I said, please sir, we need to land in this plane. Okay, okay.
Yeah, all of you talk together. Give each other ideas.
You don't want me to say the question. You have to think about the answers.
I don't think so.
That's you. Yes, report. I was with you.
1 more minute.
You have any question for me?
What's your name?
Just call Mr. Co-Pilot. Mr. Co-Pilot over here. His name is Jeff.
Colleague.
Alright. Let's come on up here. Let's do a real quick interview. Okay, here we go. And so,
NBC News, all the stuff.
yes. Alright, come here. Come up here. Everyone stand up. Let's come on. Let's get up here. Okay, Pedro, just water.
Your microphone, Pedro.
Your microphone.
Okay, this is what you do. You're on stage. Good morning. This is NBC News.
Wow.
Wow.
And then you
NBC News.
Yeah, I do it. Yeah, that's me.
We need okay, here. Okay, so the camera is just hold like this. Hold like this. There we go. And roll.
You are my co-pilot to here.
I'm a co-pilot and
Yeah. This is you. You're the hero here.
You are my hero.
Thank you.
So this is NBC News. We have a real hero. NBC News, this is real hero, Mr. Sullenberger. Mr. Sullenberger, tell us about the accident. How did you feel when you realized that both motors are shut down?
I have to, I'm strong, yes. But yeah, that's me. And I stayed calm and focused on my duties. And there was my co-pilot with me, Mr. Escobar.
All right, good. All right, bring him up. Let's have a.
So what did you do?
He cried. He cried. I tried to keep him calm.
You know,
I did my best to save all the passengers and the crew. And as you know, he's new, very sensitive. And now he's here, and he's gonna answer to.
So you guys think that you're heroes?
Yes, I do. For sure. I'm gonna send autograph for everybody. Don't worry, stay calm.
yeah, just everybody need to arrive. He was really in shock. I said, please, we need to land in this plane.
I would say, this is a big project.
No, he's lying. I'm
No.
really
Let me serious.
Sorry? Yeah, that was.
Okay, so what about the other people on the plane? What did they do?
It was cool. Great to say Mexican. When
So did you tell them what's happening? up
no,
there?
no way. Are you crazy? We stay calm and
We thought that we
everybody
would
got-
die.
especially this lady. She was running out of line.
Yeah, I was in panic. I thought that I will die. No, I have children. Oh my God, it was horrible.
Okay, keep calm. You can go ahead.
Thank you, everyone. That was good.